Hello, I'm DeDe. In this session, we'll do 30 minutes of traditional yoga poses with an added balance challenge, which you can customize from easier to more difficult. We'll also train muscular strength, muscular endurance, stability, and flexibility. What you'll need is a yoga mat, a folded towel, some water for hydration. If at any point you need to be near a wall or a countertop or a sturdy chair for light support, make sure you make that move. You can take off your shoes and socks, make sure you have plenty of space around you, and always move at your own mindful pace. So we're starting down on our yoga mat. Come down any way that's suitable for you. If you need some support for your head because your neck doesn't feel comfortable when you lie flat, then fold your towel and put that under your head. Otherwise, for now, just leave it off to the side. Slowly coming down first onto your elbows, and then all the way down. Adjust your tailbone so your low back feels comfortable. You can keep your knees bent or you can straighten them out. If you're going to bend them, separate your feet, turn your toes in, and lean your knees against one another. I'm going to show straighter legs for this session, so feel free to join me here if you're comfortable. And then we'll place one hand on the abdomen and one hand lightly on the collarbone on one side. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And then start to breathe through your nose. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling. Now we've placed our hands like this because we're going to begin the inhale very low. So we're going to feel the hand that's by the belly move first, and then you'll fill your lungs upward through your ribs, up into your chest to your collarbones, and then you will exhale completely. By deepening our breath in this way with the reminders of our hands, we're slowing the breathing down, we're maximizing our breath volume, and we're sending a relaxation message to our nervous system, which is a very good thing. We want our nervous system to down-regulate or become more calm. That's a wonderful place to begin our yoga practice. It's also a wonderful place to be to mitigate the effects of stress. Now you can open your eyes if they're not already open, and you can move your hands from where they are. Bend your elbows, and let's make a light fist and circle around through our wrists. One of my favorite things about yoga is that it leaves me feeling calm as well as energized. Energized in a mindful, quiet way, which is so good. It's kind of the opposite from the way I sometimes feel. So it's a nice balance for me. What's your favorite thing about yoga? Now let's flex and extend our wrists as well. And then arms down to your sides, bend your knees, one and then the other. And then we're not done. Pick up your arms once again, press your palms together and gently go side to side with your hands. Try not to turn your head the whole time you're here. If you need to look, you can turn your head to look at me, but then bring your head back to the center. All right, and then with the fingers open, let's circle around through our wrists, both directions. Doesn't that feel good? You can feel it all the way up into your forearms and down into your hands, right? And then we'll bring the arms down to the sides. Now bring one knee into your chest, followed by the other knee. And then we'll flex the feet and we'll alternate pressing one heel up. Keep your feet flexed. It doesn't matter how straight your knee goes. You just bring it as straight as you can. Push your heel away from your tailbone. Push. Push. Now take your hands alongside your legs and start to angle them outward just a little bit. So they're not straight up now, they're outward a bit. And your hand is supporting the side of your leg. So you may be getting some fatigue in the tops of your feet, the fronts of your ankles, maybe into your shins. We're going to alleviate that stress right now. So come back to the center, relax your feet and circle around through your ankles in one direction and then the other direction. Now if you have that towel underneath your head, you can take it out from under for this next move, the bridge lifts. Take your feet down. Hip joint distance apart, your knees are bent. Take your arms out to the sides. Inhale, and then exhale, press your hands into the floor. Now inhale and hug your arms around, and then exhale, press your hands into the floor. Inhale, hug your arms around. This time your other arm is closer to your chin. And exhale. Now press your hands down and press your hips upward, trying to find neutral with your spine. Inhale, lower your hips and hug your arms. Inhale, press your arms down, and as you exhale, lift your hips up. Inhale, wrap your arms around, and then go right into it. Exhale, press. Inhale, hug. Exhale, press. Two more. All right, and then we'll come down. Bring the knees into the chest. This time you're holding on to your knees, one hand on each knee. Relax your ankles. Now use your arms to create this circling motion with the legs. So you'll lean toward one hip, and then toward your tailbone, and then toward your other hip. Now reverse the direction toward one hip, toward your tailbone, toward the other hip. Make sure you're using your arms to do this so your back can receive the benefits, the relaxing, mobilizing benefits. All right, now we're turning over onto our side and using the hands to press ourselves up. We're coming to our hands and knees now, so you'll want to maybe put the extra padding under where your knees are. And then from your hands and knees position, feel free to be on your fists and knees or flat down on your palms and knees. It's totally up to you. Shoulders away from ears. Let's inhale here. Brace your core. Stay neutral. On the exhale, your right arm reaches forward with your thumb up. And then inhale, bring your hand down. Exhale, reach. Now you don't have to straighten your elbows here. Inhale down. Exhale, reach. You can keep your elbow bent if that feels better for your shoulder. Now, can you still breathe the way we did when we had one hand on our abdomen and one hand on our collarbone? Make sure you're pushing the ground away with whatever's touching the ground. Push it away. Now your arms stay still. Let's inhale. And on the exhale, either extend your leg with your toes on the floor or with your toes off the floor. Let's switch. Inhale to come down. Push the ground away. Exhale, reach. Now we're not trying to go high. We're trying to go in line with our body here, in line with our hips and our shoulders. All right, one more here. Keep pushing the ground away. Stay neutral through your pelvis. Let's try an arm and a leg. So right arm, left leg. Inhale, exhale, reach them out. And then we'll switch. So because we have one hand and one knee on the floor, maybe you have your toes on the floor still, we're challenging our balance already. Now we're going to challenge it in a different way. So inhale, exhale, reach your arm and leg, whichever one you're on, and then inhale, tuck them in, and then exhale, press them out again, and keep going. So we're not trying to go high, we're staying in line, one straight continuous line. Now out and hold, stay here, keep breathing. Push the ground away. Remember that action in your body. Still breathing. All right, let's come down. Reset your posture. Reset everything. And let's do the other side, whichever side you haven't done. Inhale, exhale, reach. And then retract in. Inhale, exhale, reach. Do it again. Now this one we hold. Pressing, reaching, breathing, balancing. All right, down we come. Move into your version of child's pose. Maybe that's here. Maybe that's further back. Maybe your knees are further apart. Maybe your head is down lower. Take a few more breaths here. Just relax everything that was working just a moment ago. Now let's extend the arms fully forward. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Let's inhale forward. This is the half plank from your knees, and then exhale back. Now, usually when you're sitting back, your wrists are pretty comfortable with your palms flat, but as you come forward, if you need to come up onto your fists, make sure you do that, but then switch back to flat palms. Now, when you come forward, again, we're pressing the ground away, but we're also making sure that we don't collapse into the shape of a hammock. You want to stay much more stable and braced. Square your shoulders off. Keep engaging your abdominal muscles. All right, now we come only halfway forward and we move the hands a little bit more toward me. So move your hands a little more toward me. Take your back foot, the one that's furthest away from me, and reach it forward. Now, fists, fingertips, palms, or you're up on yoga blocks here. This is a kneeling lunge. Make sure your front knee is over your ankle. Let's inhale, drop your hips down, and then as you exhale, keep your hands where they are and slide your hips back a little bit. Let's do it again. Two more. Feel what's happening in your hips and your legs. Feel the limbering. All right, now we slide our hands back a little bit and we take both knees back. Now move your hands away from me and step your other foot forward. Make sure you move your yoga blocks if you're using those. Put them under your hands if you're using them. Shoulders away from ears now. Inhale. And then exhale. Back your hips up. Let your legs straighten a little bit. Now, even if you're not moving very much, you're just having a small amount of range of motion, even a little bit of range of motion here really can help to limber the hips. So don't worry about how big your motion is. Just feel how it feels. Does it feel right for you? If it feels right, it probably is right. All right, and then we'll take both knees back. And we'll sit back once again into your version of child's pose. And if child's pose doesn't work for you, find a different resting pose. It should feel restful, comfortable, practical. All right, now we're making our way into downward facing dog. So extend your arms, come forward, tuck your toes, lift your knees, press your hips back, and then alternate your heels for a moment. Let go of any tension in your neck. So as we're alternating our heels, tune into what's happening in your lower legs, your feet. All right, and then press both heels down evenly. Now we bend the knees a little bit and we step the foot that's furthest from me, step that foot forward. And then we'll turn toward one another. Now you probably won't need your extra padding for a while, so move that off to the side. Turn your toes out, take your hands on your thighs, and let's start to come up. Shoulders down. Now inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, exhale, sit back with your hips, push your knees wide, and then repeat. So this is a balancing pose because our feet are so wide. Let's stay in the down position here. Your hips are pressing back. Your knees are also pressing back. Shoulders are down. Now let's try this. Hands on your legs. See if you can, with your ears over your shoulders, make sure you start there. See if you can look up a bit. Now keep your balance. Changing our focal point, our eye gaze, and our head position, that's a balance challenge. You might be noticing it. It's also a challenge strength-wise and endurance-wise, isn't it? For our leg muscles especially. All right, let's steady our gaze forward now. Start to come up. Let's turn. We're up on the, keep your balance, tiptoes of the back foot, hands on the hips, and we'll bend both knees and drop down. So here we are in this Crescent Pose. So this is an easier version. Make sure you have your chair, your sturdy chair, your wall, or your countertop next to you if you need it. So now we'll do a tougher version. Slide your elbows back and then lift your chest a little bit. And here's that eye gaze and head position, looking up once again. Now, if you need to be back down on your back knee, the way we were in our first lunge, make sure that you get your extra padding under you and you do that version instead. All right, and then let's come up, eye gaze forward, turn, let's go the other way. Creating our crescent pose in this direction, so make sure you set up your feet so they're on a railroad track and not a tightrope. And then you find the bend in your knees that works for you. And then we'll squeeze the elbows back behind us once again. Lift your chest. Lift your eye gaze, tilt your head. Remember, those are all options, but take them if they work for you. You should feel challenged here. This is challenging for flexibility, for strength, for balance. Challenging. All right, and then we're coming up and out of it. Level out your gaze. And then turn toward the front. Let's bring the feet in closer. Shoulders back and down, hands together in front of your heart. Now you can do your airplane pose, which is also known as Warrior 3, straight toward me like this. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see it better. Shoulders away from ears, chest is lifted. Keep your hands here and you can touch your thumbs to your sternum. That can sometimes help us balance. Soften your standing leg. Take your right foot back and begin to tip. Tip over, hold here and breathe. Do you need your chair or wall or countertop? It's okay if you do. It's okay if you don't. Let's stand back up. Stay with your concentration now. Left leg back, soften your knee. So the leg that's lifted, the knee is straight. The standing leg, the knee is soft. Tip up, and then release the arms. Now we'll do another round. How do you feel about bringing your arms forward? They don't have to be up here next to your ears. So remember when we were on our hands and knees and we extended the arm and leg and then we drew them in and we extended? We're going to try that with our Warrior 3, if you'd like to. Remember, you're customizing this to make it just right for you. So if we start here, right leg back, bend your standing leg, reach out. Now inhale, and as you exhale, retract in. And then inhale, extend out. And then again. One more. And then we'll stand up from there. Let's try that on the other side. Arms, left leg, tip, soften your standing leg. Inhale, and then exhale. Draw in, and repeat. How about one more? And then we stand. Both feet down. Mountain pose. And then release your arms, roll your shoulders up and back and down. Let's separate the feet about shoulder width distance apart. Inhale. Exhale, right hand on your hip. Left arm goes over. Keep the elbow bent. Or if you can comfortably straighten it, then you'll do that. And then we'll switch. Coming up. Now let's turn a little bit diagonal. Take one heel further out and sit back with your hips, hands on your leg. Keep your back straight and tip forward until you feel a stretch in the back of the straight leg. Keep drawing the toes up. If you could put your hand on your shin, you could do that. Otherwise, keep it up high. Let's come up and we'll change sides. You should feel that down the back of your straight leg. You should feel it in the top of your foot a little bit, maybe into your hip muscles too. All right, and then we'll stand. Bring the feet in closer. Now take your right leg and cross it in front. Push your hips out to the left. Take your right hand on your hip and reach your left arm over. Now your front knee is bent, your back leg is straight, and the more you can push your hips out to the side, the more stretch you'll feel around your hip and down, maybe into your IT band. And we'll stand up and we'll switch. So take your left leg across in front. Push your hips out to the right. Reach over. Keep pushing your hips out. Keep your front knee bent and relaxed. You can look down. You can look forward. You can look up. And see what's suitable for your neck. All right, and then we'll come up. Step out, take your left hand down your back, take your right hand up your back, And so behind you, it looks like this. You're trying to get the fingers a little bit closer together. Now try to bring your elbows so they're more vertical, not so much out to the sides. Now, many times we start to round our back because it seems like it's helping us. So try to correct that if that's happening to you. Bring your ears over your shoulders. All right, let's switch. It's okay if your fingers don't touch. You're working your way toward that. It's okay if your fingers touch. It's all okay. Anywhere in between. It's okay. All right, now let's release that and roll your shoulders. So how did you do? By asking our bodies to balance during yoga, we're creating a demand for more balance, which means when we're not doing yoga, we can balance better, anywhere and everywhere. So thanks for joining me, and until next time, be well.